Liza Meyer will be alternating weeks. So I will begin today, and then Liza will teach next Monday, and then I will come back the following while Rebecca is on maternity leave. So I know that you're all on mute, but it's nice to see your faces, and I hope that you're feeling good today, and hopefully by the time we're finished with this, you'll feel a little bit or much better, depending on how this goes. So right now, what you can do, and what I usually like to do in the beginning of my classes, is I like to invite folks to lay down. So you can go ahead and make your way onto your back. And once you have reached your back, you can either rest your hands at the sides of your body, or you may choose to rest your hands on your belly if that feels comfortable to you. Sometimes folks like to rest one hand on their belly and one hand on their heart. Whichever position feels most comfortable to you is fine. Once you've made your way onto your back, you can either close your eyes if that feels safe to you and comfortable, or you could just soften your gaze and maybe find something on the ceiling or in the room to focus on. Once you've softened your gaze, we'll begin to draw your attention to your breathing pattern. You won't change the pattern of your breathing. You'll just begin to be noticing it. Notice the sensations of your breath coming in through your nose and the sensations that you may feel as you exhale from your mouth. And we're just going to take a few moments to inhale and exhale, noticing our breath and allowing our breath to ground us toward the yoga mat. Begin to notice the connection that your spine is making to the mat as the mat lays on the floor, or if you're on the rug, just taking a few breaths to acknowledge your connectedness through your spine to the mat or the floor where you're laying. And after you've taken a few breaths and taken a few moments to notice your spine connected to the earth, you're gently going to draw your attention to the crown of your head, the very top of your head. And we're going to use our imaginations to begin envisioning softness. So we're envisioning softness at the crown of our head, gently moving down into the forehead and envisioning your forehead becoming more soft, your brow line becoming softer and more relaxed. Coming down towards your nose and envisioning your nose becoming more relaxed, your eye sockets, your cheekbones becoming softer and more relaxed, your jaw becoming softer and more relaxed, maybe opening up your mouth a little bit so that your teeth are not clenched in the back of your jaw, and so that your tongue is not pressed against the roof of your mouth. Envisioning your tongue becoming more soft and relaxed. Maybe moving your jaw around a little bit, and then moving your attention down to your throat and your neck, and envisioning that your throat and your neck are also becoming softer and more relaxed. From your throat and your neck, gently rolling your shoulders back towards the floor or the yoga mat where you're laying, and envisioning your shoulder muscles beginning to become more soft and more relaxed. This is a space in the body where we sometimes hold tension, so just be aware of your shoulders. If they're feeling a little tense, maybe shrug them up a little more. And then gently guide your attention and your breathing down from your shoulders, coming into your arms. Acknowledge the muscles in the upper portions of your arms. Envision them becoming softer. Gently guide your breath and your attention down towards your elbows and envision your elbows becoming softer. Your forearms becoming softer. Your wrists becoming more soft. Maybe rolling your wrists around in gentle circles just to create some movement. Then allowing your hands to rest again as you acknowledge the tops of your hands and envision the tops of your hands becoming more soft. The palms of your hands becoming more soft. Maybe spreading your fingers apart so that you can feel the webbing between your fingers. And envision this space too becoming softer and more relaxed. Coming all the way down to your fingertips. And then gently guiding your attention from your fingertips back up your arms, back toward your shoulders. This time moving toward the center of your collarbone. And then into your chest. Take a few moments to breathe deeply, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out of your mouth so that you can feel the breath move past your lips. And now taking a few moments to be present with your emotional space today. Notice how you're feeling emotionally, what mood you're in right now. Do your best not to focus on changing it, but just taking a moment to acknowledge how you feel emotionally. Then gently thinking, if you're not enjoying how you're feeling or if you'd like to feel differently, bringing to mind and heart how you'd like to feel as you move through practice this evening. And even after you have completed your practice this evening, just maybe setting an intention for yourself. Once you've set an intention and noticed your emotional space, gently begin to guide your attention away from your chest, away from your heart, towards your belly. Envision your belly becoming softer and more relaxed. Notice how your belly is feeling. If it's comfortable, if it's full, or if you're hungry. Just take a moment to notice the state of your belly. Then gently from your belly, move your awareness down towards your hips and your pelvis. Acknowledge how your hips and pelvis are feeling. The hips is another space in the body where we can hold tension and strain. So maybe deepen your breath if you're having any feelings or feeling anything tight or tense or heavy in your hips. And gently send some breath down into the space of your body. Then from your hips, begin to acknowledge the tops of your legs, your quads, the front of your legs, your thighs, your knees, your shins and your calf muscles. Acknowledge your ankles and maybe move them in gentle circles, similarly to how you may have moved your wrists. Acknowledge the tops of your feet, the soles of your feet. Gently guide your breath and your attention all the way down to the tips of your toes. Maybe spread your toes apart so that you can feel the webbing between them, similarly to how you may have spread your fingers apart. And once you've reached the tips of your toes, guide your attention all the way from your feet to the back of your skull at the very top of your spine. Once your attention is at the top of your spine, take a few breaths to notice how your spine is feeling, whether it's comfortable or whether you're experiencing any discomfort in your spine. Then very gently, very carefully, as you inhale and exhale, envision that you're moving your breath down your spine. With each exhale, maybe envision that you're creating some space between each portion of your spine, each vertebrae. Sending extra breath to any spaces that may feel tight or sore or anything like that. And then when you've come to your lower back, take a really full sip of air. Exhale really big, as if the breath is wrapping itself around your lower back. Feel the connectedness of your lower back to your yoga mat or your chair or wherever you're seated. And we'll take another deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale again, envision your exhale wrapping around your lower back. Then you can gently guide your breath away from your spine, back to the front of your body. Specifically back into your chest, your heart. You could take one hand to your heart, take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth, letting out a gentle, audible sound. And we'll take 2 more breaths like this, inhaling deeply. Exhaling. 1 more deep breath in. 1 more big exhale. From here, you can gently roll over onto your side if you are laying down on your yoga mat and slowly make your way into a seated position. You could either come into easy seat with your legs crossed underneath your body, or you could extend your legs directly in front of you if that feels comfortable. If you have a yoga block, you could also sit on the yoga block. Okay. And we're going to begin by bringing your hands just to the sides of your body while you sit upright. Making sure that your sits bones, your bottom is nice and flat so that your spine is nice and tall. And then we're going to inhale, raising your arms up above your head on each side. Reaching your fingertips up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, gently bring your arms out nice and wide. Inhale again, arms will come up. Exhale, arms will come down nice and wide. Inhale again, arms will come up, reaching for the ceiling. And on your exhale, you'll gently forward fold, allowing your hands to come down in front of you. Okay, so whatever depth is the most comfortable for you is fine. If you can come down very low, go ahead and come down. Come to the point that is most comfortable for you to extend your arms without hurting yourself or without feeling any discomfort. Allow your forehead to drop towards the earth. And we'll breathe here for 4 breaths. Now, as you inhale, inhale big. And as you exhale, see if you can gently melt down just a little bit more deeply with each exhale. Okay, you could also rest your hands on your legs. Do what feels best to you in this posture. We'll breathe here for about 2 more breaths. And when you come to your second breath, or your last breath rather, you're gently going to start walking your fingertips over to the right side. So you're staying low, you're keeping your forehead low, your chest low, and you're just walking your fingertips over to the side, okay? We'll breathe here again for 4 breaths. And when you come to your 4th breath, You'll gently walk your fingertips across the center, this time coming to the opposite side. Still walking your fingertips out so that you're getting a side body stretch, allowing your forehead and your chest to come low as feels comfortable for your body. And we'll breathe here for 4 breaths. When you come to your 4th breath, gently walk your fingertips back towards the center and then walk them towards your body. You're going to bring your arms to the sides of your body, kind of shake your hands out a little bit. Okay, then we'll inhale again, bring arms up nice and wide. And then when you exhale, you're going to bring the balls of your fingers down just beside you on the sides of your legs. Okay, now we're going to flip over the right hand so that the right palm is facing up towards the ceiling. The balls of your left fingers on your left hand are down. We'll inhale, raising your right arm up and over. Slightly twisting towards the raised arm as we breathe here for 4 breaths. When you've come to your fourth breath, gently bring your raised arm down, and we'll repeat on the opposite side. So you're raising up, twisting slightly towards your raised arm, breathing here for 4 intentional deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, allowing the breath to move past your lips for 3 more breaths. When you've come to your 3rd breath, we're going to repeat this once more on each side. So go at your own pace. Extend your arm, slightly twist towards the raised arm. Breathing deeply through your nose and exhaling intentionally out of your mouth. 4 breaths on each side. When you come to your 4th breath on the left side, we're gently going to begin to come onto our hands and knees in tabletop. Okay? So you're gently just going to make your way onto your hands and knees with your hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. If you have a yoga blanket or anything to comfort your knees, if your floor or your mat is a little bit hard, then you could feel free to put a blanket underneath your knees. And from here, we're going to inhale, pointing your chin up towards the ceiling and dropping your belly as we move into cow. Exhale, curving your spine up towards the ceiling as we move into cat. And we will breathe and move through 4 sets of cow and cat. So do your best to connect your breathing to each movement. Take your time so that your spine can get the extension of each pose. You could create a slight bend in your elbows so that you're not locking your arms. Remembering to keep your movement connected to your breath. And when you've come to your final set of cow and cat, you're going to draw your big toes toward one another and sink your bottom back so that you're moving into child's pose as you walk your fingertips forward. Now, if you happen to have a pillow or a bolster or anything like that, you could definitely put that between your knees to rest on. And you could extend your arms in front of you and lay your cheek down on your mat, or you could take your hands and just fold them underneath your face gently as we breathe here for about 4 or 5 breaths. When you come to your final breath, we'll gently move again into tabletop. From tabletop, you'll gently curl your toes under and we'll move into downward facing dog. Pointing the crown of your head down towards the yoga mat. We'll gently bring one heel in the direction of your yoga mat while lifting the opposite heel, keeping the balls of your feet in contact with the mat just to stretch out your hamstrings. And we'll breathe here for 5 breaths, just alternating feet, lifting one heel and then the other to get a good stretch in the backs of your legs. When you come to your final breath here, you can gently walk your feet to meet your hands so that you're coming into a forward fold. From your forward fold, you could move your feet so that they're just outside of your hips distance. Okay. Allow your head to move in the direction of the yoga mat as we clasp opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. So left hand to right elbow, right hand to left elbow. You can create a gentle bend in your knees here. And we're just going to rock from side to side very gently. Remember to inhale and exhale. If you're feeling any type of pressure or tightness in your lower back, you can feel free to come out of this pose if it's not comfortable for you. We'll breathe here for about 2 more breaths. Just swaying from left to right, or moving your hands or your arms in a figure 8. You can do that also. When you come to your last breath, you can release your elbows. Then on your next inhale, you're going to slide your hands to meet your knees, creating a 90-degree angle with your back. On your next exhale, slide your hands down in the direction of your feet. Inhale, hands will meet your knees, half fold. Exhale, come down. Inhale, hands will meet knees. Exhale, hands will come down. Inhale, once more, hands meeting knees. Gently roll your shoulders back. Maybe lift your toes up a little bit. Create a little heaviness in your heels, almost like you're leaning into your heels. Okay. Then we're going to slide your hands down once more. Inhale and slide your hands all the way up your legs until you come to a standing position in Tadasana. Okay. Once you've reached Tadasana, you can gently step your feet out so they're a little bit wider. Gently roll your shoulders back. Hands come to the sides of your body. On your inhale, raise your arms up over your head. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale again, arms come up nice and wide. You could spread your fingers apart if you like as you do this. Hands will come down again. Inhale, arms come up. This time you're clasping your fingers over your head, okay? With just your index fingers, your pointer fingers moving up towards the ceiling. Now we're gently just going to move, okay, to the right. So you're leaning to the right with your fingers clasped, your chest still pointing forward. We'll breathe here for 3 breaths. When you come to your 3rd breath, you can come back to the center, release your arms, let them come down. Gently roll your shoulders back a few times. There we go. Everyone looks good. Inhale, and your arms will come up. Exhale, arms come down. Nice and wide. There we go. Inhale, arms come up. This time again, clasping your fingers over your head. And now leaning to the opposite side. Keeping your arms nice and long, like they're framing your head. And we'll breathe here for 3 breaths. When you've come to your 3rd breath, you can return to the center, release your arms, roll your shoulders back. You can even shake your hands out if you like. Okay, then on your next inhale, arms will raise up. Wonderful. Exhale, arms come down nice and wide. Inhale again, arms come up, clasping again over your head. And this time, you will move, pointing your fingers behind you, okay? So you'll kind of lead forward with your hips, raise your chin towards the ceiling, okay? And then point your fingers behind you to the best of your ability. So we're breathing here for 3 breaths. Your arms may shake, mine often shake in this position. When you come to your 3rd breath, you can step your feet together, allow your arms to come down, okay? Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, arms will come up. Exhale, and you're going to swan dive down. So you're just bringing your arms down, okay? And then gently make your way back onto your bottom in easy position. So take your time, making your way down to the yoga mat. Great. Once you get here, you're going to extend your legs in front of you. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see my whole body. And again, if you have a blanket you want to sit on or a yoga block, that's totally fine. All right, while you're sitting up nice and tall, gently roll your shoulders back a few times. Then you're going to bring your hands to the sides of your body. On your inhale, your arms are going to come up. On your exhale, your hands are going to come down in the direction of your legs. Your chest is coming down towards your legs as well. The goal here is not necessarily to reach your feet. The goal here is to stretch your lower back. So you would like your belly and your chest to come down as low as you comfortably can. When you forward fold here, you're forward folding from your hips. So sometimes it's even helpful to take your hands almost like you were putting them on handlebars and place them right on your hips so that you can feel your hip bones there, right? And then gently just allowing yourself to lean forward with your chest so that you're getting that stretch in your lower back. And then whatever point feels comfortable to you, you can stop right there. And we're just going to breathe here to allow any tension that you're holding in your lower back to be alleviated. We'll breathe here for 3 breaths, keeping your forehead low, doing your best not to lock your arms, maybe creating a gentle bend in your elbows, allowing your forehead and your neck to relax. And when you've come to your 3rd breath, slowly sliding your hands back up, rolling your shoulders back. And then beginning again as we inhale, gently raising your arms up. Exhale, forward fold by leaning your chest forward and bending at your hips. And then just allowing your hands to gently lay on your legs wherever they fall. And we'll breathe here this time for 4 breaths. So each time we'll increase by 1 breath. When you come to your 4th breath, slowly slide your hands back up your legs. Sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back a few times. Hands again come to the sides of your body. On your next inhale, raise your arms up nice and long. And then as you exhale, forward fold, leaning your chest forward so that you can feel the extension in your lower back. Allow your hands to come down to your legs. Create a gentle bend in your elbows. Keep your forehead low. And we'll breathe this time for 5 breaths. When you come to your 5th breath, you can gently unfold. And as you unfold, allow the soles of your feet to come to the floor or the yoga mat so that your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're still sitting up nice and tall. Then you can gently wrap your arms either around the fronts of your legs, if that's comfortable for you. You could take your hands and place them on the front of your knees. Or you could fully wrap your arms around the front of your legs if that feels comfortable. We want to sit up nice and tall. Maybe open up your mouth a little bit so that your jaw is not tense or clenched. And we're going to breathe here for 6 slow, intentional breaths. So we're breathing the breath in through our nose, opening up your mouth and exhaling. 6 breaths in this fashion. Now, when you come to your 6th breath, you're going to extend your left leg in front of you, keeping your right knee bent. And then you're going to take your right leg and cross it over your left. Okay, so you're just picking it up and just putting it over. Okay, can everyone see me? So I have on a lot of dark colors, so I want to make sure that my legs are not blending in with one another. Okay, great. All right, so once your foot is over your leg, you're going to take your left arm, raise it up. Okay, so you're creating a bend here, and then you're just going to place it over your knee. So it's almost like a pretzel that you're doing here. So you're taking your left arm, you're placing it just like on top of your quad here. Your fingers are spread apart, so that way your hand is engaged. And then with your free hand, you're just going to twist to your right and take your free hand and place it directly behind your spine to stabilize yourself. So you're sitting up as tall as possible, and then you're looking towards your right shoulder as we breathe here for 4 breaths. So deep inhale, big exhale, 3 more breaths. come to your final breath, you can untwist. So you're going to release your arm. You're going to take your leg and switch. So this time you'll extend your right leg down. You'll bring your left leg up and then bring it over. You're going to take your left hand, place it behind your back with your fingers pointing away from your body. That way you have a stabilizing position. And then you're taking your right arm and just placing it on top of your left quad, twisting towards your left shoulder. Do your best to keep your spine nice and tall. Spread your fingers apart so that your hands are engaged. And we'll breathe here for 4 breaths. Be still and breathe. 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 When you've come to your 4th breath, you can untwist. Allow your arms to come down. You're going to take your both legs pointing up towards the ceiling, your knees. Soles of your feet are on the floor. And then you're going to guide your knees apart and bring the soles of your feet together. Now, if you have yoga blocks, you could take a yoga block and place it underneath your knee. You could also take the yoga blocks and place them underneath your thighs for a little extra support here. We're going to sit up nice and tall. You could either clasp your fingers around the fronts of your feet, or you could take peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Whatever feels the most comfortable to you. The goal here is to remain sitting up nice and tall and give your hips an opportunity to open up. So you're going to roll your shoulders back, open up your mouth a little bit so that your jaw can relax, and we'll breathe here for 6 breaths. When you have come to your 6th breath, you can gently guide your knees toward one another so that the soles of your feet come down to the yoga mat. Okay. Then, depending on how you're sitting, you want to make sure that your whole body is on the mat. So if your feet are off the mat, you're just going to turn yourself so that your feet are on the mat with your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You're gently going to allow yourself to come down on your back with your knees still pointing upward and your soles of your feet still down on the mat. Nice flat spine on the mat, knees pointing upward. Then we're going to lift up the right foot, or the right leg rather, so that the sole of your foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. And you're going to bend your right knee and then rotate it to the side so that you can rest your right ankle just on the top of your left quad, creating a figure 4. Then you're gently going to raise your left foot off of the mat, keeping your left knee bent. And then this little hole that we've created with our legs here, you're just going to take one hand through the center and you're going to bring the other arm on the outside so that you can clasp your hands behind your legs. We will breathe here for 6 breaths. Now the goal here, okay, is to flex your left foot almost like you're pressing against a wall. And then you want to take your clasped hands, which are behind your legs, and draw your left leg towards your body while you're creating that tension with your flexed foot. It's a lot going on. So if it seems, like a lot, it's because it is. You want to make sure that your head and your spine and your neck is still resting on the mat so that you don't strain your neck. And we're going to breathe here for about 3 more breaths. So you're drawing your leg toward your body while creating tension with a flexed foot. When you come to your final breath, allow the sole of your left foot to come down. You can then let the sole of your right foot come down. And then extend your right leg upward, and we'll repeat on the opposite side. Still reaching your hand, one through the inside and one through the outside so that they can meet behind your right thigh. And then drawing your right leg towards your body while flexing your right foot to create some tension. And don't forget to breathe. I know there's a lot of components to this posture, but do your best to inhale and exhale so that you're not creating tension in your face or your shoulders or anything like that. And we'll breathe through this posture for about 4 more breaths at this point. When you come to your 4th breath, again, you can release your legs so that the soles of your feet come down to the yoga mat. Take a few moments to place your hand, one on belly, one on chest, and just reconnect with your breathing. Feel your spine connected to your yoga mat or the floor or wherever you're seated. Notice the breath coming in through your nose and out through your mouth. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Then you can gently lift the soles of your feet off the mat, moving your knees toward your chest, and then taking your hands and placing them either on the front of your shins or on your knees. And we're just going to move into a variation of happy baby, but we're just placing our hands on our legs instead of our feet. And we're gently just going to rock from left to right or in a circular motion so that you can feel your lower back and your spine being massaged onto the yoga mat or the rug, wherever you're laying. Just take a few moments to rock yourself from left to right and around in some gentle circles. You could even move your knees further apart, and that would in turn allow your lower back to spread further across the yoga mat. We'll take one more really big breath here. And then slowly draw your knees toward your chest, giving them a big hug. So you're wrapping your arms around the fronts of your legs, still keeping your neck and head in contact with the yoga mat. Taking a nice big deep breath in through your nose, exhaling audibly out of your mouth. And then taking one more big breath in as you hug your legs. And then a big exhale. Now gently release your left leg so that it can come down to the yoga mat while still keeping your right leg up. You're going to clasp your fingers and place them just in front of your leg at the very top of your shin. Okay, if that feels comfortable to you. And then you're going to hug your right leg towards your body to the depth that feels comfortable to you. Okay, so you're bringing it closer to your body. You could even shift it just a bit, maybe an inch to the right, and then hug it in a little bit closer if you're able. So stretch and open up your hips. And we'll breathe here for 2 more breaths. When you come to your last breath, you can release your leg down to the yoga mat and draw up your left leg to repeat on the opposite side. And so the leg that is in contact with the floor or the mat, you could choose to either flex your foot or you could point it away from your body just to engage some more muscles if you like. Still while hugging your left leg in towards the side of your body, almost like you're hugging your leg in towards your rib cage. Remembering to inhale and exhale. And we'll be here for 3 more breaths. When you come to your 3rd breath, you can release your leg down to the yoga mat. Take a few moments to point your toes away from your body, just to stretch out your legs, and then draw your toes towards your body. So you're pointing and flexing. Point and flex for 3 breaths. Then we're going to allow our arms to come down to the sides of our body. Gently bend your knees so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling as the soles of your feet rest on the mat. And then slowly raise your legs up. We're going to do legs up the wall without the wall. Okay? So you can point your toes towards the ceiling or you could flex your toes towards your body. You could alternate between the two, just to relieve any tension you may have in like your calves or your shins. We can point and flex for 4 more breaths. Then when you come to your 4th breath, again, you can bring your feet down, but you're not going to let them touch the mat. You're going to bend your knees, and we're going to hug our knees in towards our body once more. Okay, so how you do that is up to you. If you want to clasp your hands and draw your legs in, you can. If you want to take your hands to the fronts of your knees and hug your knees in, it's totally up to you, whatever feels comfortable. Hugging our legs toward our body for 3 breaths. And then from here, we're going to move into a traditional child's pose, but happy baby. So you could clasp your hands around your feet if you like. You could take peace fingers to your big toes. You could take hands to your knees and just allow your knees to move apart so that you can open up your hips. And once you've decided upon which variation of this feels the most comfortable for you, then you can begin again to just gently rock yourself from left to right or in a circular motion. You could alternate the direction of the circle. You You could even extend a leg to open up on one side while the other knee is bent, and then you could switch. You could point your legs up and then bring them down, whatever feels good to you, and happy baby, just to open up your hips a little bit. Relieve any tension that you might be holding in your hamstrings. Why don't we breathe here for about 2 more breaths. And you can slowly allow the soles of your feet to come down towards the yoga mat, still allowing your knees to point upward. We're going to prepare to do 2 bridge poses. Now, there's a few different ways that you can go about bridge. Again, if you have a yoga block, you could take a yoga block and do a supported bridge, which would be you pressing your feet down towards the earth as you raise your pelvis, your belly, and your chest up, and then taking the yoga block and placing it just across your lower back so that it is supported there. And then you could rest your arms at the sides of your body, and this is a supported bridge pose. Or you could do it without the block. You could clasp your hands underneath your body and gently roll your shoulders to platform as you press your hips and pelvis up towards the ceiling. Or you can keep your hands at the sides of your body. We are only going to do 2 bridge poses. I want to invite you to move through bridge at your own pace. So you can hold or remain in the pose for as many breaths as you like, and then release your spine gently to the yoga mat. Once you come down to the yoga mat between bridge poses, draw your knees toward your chest for a counter pose so that your spine is getting a stretch in the opposite direction. And then once you've done that, then you could move into your next bridge. So whatever variation works for you. Some people like to leave their hands with palms down and press their hips and belly and chest up while tucking their chin in. It's totally up to your personal choice of which feels best to your body. Once you have done your second bridge pose, you can allow your legs to come flat down onto the yoga mat. Allow yourselves to lay down flat onto the yoga mat. And we are gently going to move into Shavasana. So I will begin to guide us into Shavasana similarly to how I began the class, but I am going to move off of the yoga mat and just come a little bit closer to the laptop so that you can hear me a little bit better. If you have blankets or bolsters or blocks or anything that you would like to use to support yourself while in Shavasana, you can gather those things. And once you have gathered the restorative tools that you like to use during Shavasana, then you can bring yourself to your back. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can feel free to close your eyes. Gently allow your lips to move apart so that your jaw is relaxed. Maybe roll your shoulders back a few times. You could take one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart if you like. Sometimes I encourage folks to take one hand and just tuck it into the collar of their shirt so that you can feel your skin. Sometimes that's nice when you're in Shavasana, just so you can be present with yourself. And we'll just reconnect with our breathing. So we're noticing the cadence of our breath as it comes in through our nose and out through our mouth. Notice any sensations that might be coming up as you inhale and exhale. And now take a few moments to notice your thoughts right now. Acknowledge whether they are any different right now from when we began practice. If your thoughts seem more calm, then take a few moments to acknowledge the state of your body. So how does your body feel after having moved and stretched? Acknowledge if it feels any different from how it felt in the beginning. You can continue using your breath as a tool to soften. Although we are in Shavasana, you can still use your breath to move through relaxing yourself. And then gently just guide your awareness across your body. Acknowledge the various points of your body. Acknowledge your face, your arms, your neck, your spine, your legs, your fingers, your toes, your mouth, all the different portions of your body. And acknowledge how they're feeling right now. Then gently draw your attention again to your chest, to your heart. And notice how you're feeling in this moment emotionally. Notice if there's been any shift in how you're feeling right now from how you felt when you first sat down to begin practice. Notice if there's anything that you may be holding on to that you'd like to release so that you're not carrying it with you after practice has ended. You could envision anything that you're holding being released through your exhale so that you're breathing it out and allowing it to move away from your body. Take a few moments to roll your shoulders back. Maybe move your head from side to side. And then if you like, gently roll onto one side, roll onto the right side of your body. Draw your knees towards your body if you like, and just kind of snuggle yourself a little bit. Give yourself a little extra love before we wrap up this practice. Present some gratitude to yourself for finding time to practice this evening. Present gratitude to yourself for doing something that is just for you, which is so important, especially right now with everything that's going on in the world. Take a few moments to be present with your breathing and acknowledge the breath and the life force moving through your body. And then very gently, you can begin to create some movement, wiggling your toes, your fingers, fluttering your eyes, And then very gently, very carefully allow yourselves to come to a seated posture. Take your time. Once you've come to your seated posture, you can take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Gently roll your shoulders back a few times. And I am just going to tap the singing bowl a few times. You can just feel free to breathe naturally. Okay, allow your shoulders to soften. Maybe open up your mouth a little bit. Notice your breathing. And I'll invite you to bring your hands together at heart center. I'd like to thank each of you for allowing me to guide you through practice this evening. And I hope that you feel more comfortable and more at ease in your body and in your thoughts than you did before we began practice. And I'll conclude our time together by saying namaste.